So Magic Legends is being one of the most anticipated action RPG games that came out to this year. This game was very special, sharing similar to MMO RPGs and sharing some elements from action RPGs, something similar to like Diablo. Well, earlier this year, a open beta was released for players, and god damn, it was so bad. But today's video, we want to talk about why did Magic Legends fail before it even launched. For those of you who are brand new to the channel, or for all of my returning viewers, welcome to Chaotic Inc. And this is your boy Chaos DTV, and I cover MMOs, RPGs, and indie games, and as well as tech on a weekly basis, almost to daily basis. And eventually I will be doing lore videos. Let me hit the like button if you think you would be willing to hear about a couple lores behind certain RPG characters or locations and how the story ties into. I'll definitely be doing that as well. But with that being said, I'm going to give you guys 3 reasons why I believe Magic Legends is having the imminent shutdown later this year at October 31st, even though the game has not even been released yet, but it's only been in public beta. So my first reason of why I believe that Magic Legends failed is the initial launch behind the game. So now this story takes place before the launch, so the hype up to the game, and then the initial launch of the open beta. There was so much controversy surrounding and clouding behind Magic Legends before its launch because the game was suffering from what I would call an identity crisis, which I will cover that later in the video. But right now is that the initial launch, it was so bad, it couldn't even figure out what it wanted to be, etc. The initial launch was with the open beta was that the open beta was the actual game. Now, for some of you who don't know or didn't play it or wasn't really around the news sources lately, but when the open beta dropped, it felt like that they gave us the actual game. Like, it didn't feel like an open beta. It didn't feel like we had restrictions. But I could tell you what, the cash shop was definitely open, and it was full release. You can buy whatever you wanted. Buy anything you wanted. Game optimization ran horribly. Like, it was so bad that you couldn't even play the game. It was difficult. It was very difficult to play the game. It was real laggy. The characters' mouths were like moving, but they weren't like talking. Like the talking, it was just like the audio and the character model's mouth was just like hella like not even together. Like, it was bad. And it was so bad that it began to flop within the first day and within the first week of the open beta release, to the point where devs had to immediately throw in lots of updates just to keep the game running. Now, that's a little bit weird because, like I said earlier, this is an open beta. This is basically the time for the devs to get all the information they need, all the feedback, so that when the game is almost time for launch, when the open beta ends, that's it. They can put all that feedback, fix the game later, make the optimization better, move on. But it ties back into that I feel like this game was the full game. Devs were sending out updates, and it was like not even just like an emergency update, like, oh, the open beta isn't running properly, like players can't play. No, it was running properly. It was just that the optimization was horrible. The characters were like not being, it was laggy, even though you can run the best setup, everybody had best gear. From all the news sources that I've read, all the research I've seen, and even my actual personal gameplay, which I do have a Necromancer class guide on this channel. I'll leave it in the top right hand corner so you guys can check it out. This open beta was just built horribly different. But the thing is, I still love the game. Like, the game was still fun. I'm a huge Magic the Gathering fan, so this played to just like fan service. But let's jump into the second reason why I believe this failed, and I'm gonna go with a little bit of phrase that the devs use, which is the game missed its mark. Now, it's stated by the devs the game missed its mark, but the devs didn't really explain fully as to why they're shutting down the game. So this video is just more like a discussion based video to see if I can get you guys probably, you know, chatting up like, hey, let's theorize why the game is shutting down. So here's my 3 reasons. I want you guys to let me know your 3 reasons, or however many reasons you believe. Right down in the comment section below to tell me what you think about it. Because this is all left up to a player's interpretation. We all don't know really. I don't even know why. They just know that they said the game missed its mark and that the game is just going to be shutting down. So my interpretation of that phrase, missed the mark, I believe that Magic Legends didn't hit that satisfaction barrier that the devs were looking for and that players were looking for as well. A lot of issues were raised after its launch, especially the poorly optimized cash shop. Now, one thing about the cash shop is that it will be shutting down immediately, and whoever did spend money on the shop will get all of their money back. Like, you'll receive all your money back. So don't think like, oh, I lost money. Nope. Every single dollar you put towards this game, you will receive it back. And another thing, the game did have an MMO aspect behind of it, but it still didn't even feel like it was an MMO, even though the devs didn't want to call it an MMO. Like, they were like, oh, it's an action RPG like Diablo, but then it also has like an MMO element behind of it where like there's a bunch of players, which you do see that once you beat the tutorial. Once you get to past the tutorial, you get to the main hub world. You can see all the players and everybody's talking in chat, etc, etc. Like, it does feel like an MMO, but it doesn't really hit that like that ooey gooey, like that Goldilocks zone of like, okay, this is an MMORPG, but it just has an action RPG element, which that leads me into my 3rd and final reason of why I believe that this game failed and why the devs are shutting it down. And I believe it's the identity crisis. Now, I did say this early in the video, but let's discuss it a little bit further. And I believe it is the massive identity crisis that clouded over the game way before its release and during its release to the public as an open beta. The biggest problem was trying to understand if this game is an RPG or is it an MMO, and the devs really couldn't decide, so they tried doing both, which I'm not hating on it. That was a good idea. It just had a poor execution. It shared many key features from MMORPGs while also sharing key features from an action RPG similar to the Diablo series. The confusion can harm a game before it even launches because we don't have a clear direction to take the game. I'm not saying it was a bad idea. I love when devs try brand new things. It's probably just the wrong timing and just a bad execution. But devs did say that they will be shutting down the game effectively as of October 31st. So you guys got pretty much a couple more months before the game before the game is officially off the Epic Game Launcher, wherever you're playing it on, whatever launcher you're playing on, it's gonna be gone as of October 31st. But they did say they will be continuing future projects, and they will be, of course, still keeping around Neverwinter and their other 2 MMOs that they have. But just as of right now, they did say they want to continue with future projects. They're gonna leave Magic Legends. It was a huge fan service for people who do know Magic the Gathering. But another thing is, what I believe, they didn't really try to reel in newer players who have never played Magic the Gathering. The game, and it's right, it looks like a fan service game for people who are fans of the card game, but they didn't really explain or express like different explanations to help newer people who have never even heard of the game to really reel them in, to get them soaked into the world of Magic the Gathering. And that's what I believe is like that biggest problem that they did have, is like trying to make the game for fans and trying to get the game for newer people. So once again, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about Magic Legends shutting down effectively pretty much in the next couple months. The cash shop is already gone. Let me know what you guys think. What are your theories? What are your interpretations of why you believe that? If you agree with me, let me know. If you don't, let me know in the comment section. Like, let me know your reasons. I want to make this a very discussion based topic because it's sad. I'm quite sad. I actually did like the game. They just could have did so much better, and I can't wait for future projects. So no, this is not a hate video. This is not a diss video. This is more just bringing attention to just why do I think that the game did fall. With that being said, guys, definitely like the video. Definitely share it to your friends who also likes Magic the Gathering and Magic Legends so they can be informed as well about this video, and let's see if they can theorize, just in case they probably didn't know about the shutdown. A lot of people are talking about it right now, so it's buzzing. So let's get this video out there just to show people, like, let's get the conversation going. And as always, my outcast, it's been your boy, Chaos DTV, signing out. Peace.
I make a manifest. I don't sleep, that's so weak, don't plan to rest. I'm from a hood where you die if you don't pack a vest. No culinary degrees, but whipping crack the best. Chefing, hard times taught lessons. Praying every night to pull up in park Benzes. What's my home is what you call trenches. You wouldn't last a day seeing life through all lenses. It's all tension, no sun, and rain and plenty. Full-time job, still can never make a penny.